Hey Katie, you didn't miss me. I was tired. You was watching the launch from 3 hours ago. That's what's up. I actually went live during the launch at about T minus 10 minutes. Good evening to you. Um super tired. Super tired, but you gotta keep the streak. How's everything with you other than watching an exciting day of April Fools and a launch? Wanted to talk about something very organic. Uh, we'll just see. We'll just see if a few people come in here. Wouldn't take long. I'm just doing this as a discipline today. I think in the 58 days of doing this, I think I had one other day that was like this, where I tired myself out, and all I had left was some minutes to do what I needed to do. I didn't have any time to fix these cameras. I got a light shining on my face. That's why my face is glistening. I was looking at the video earlier and I did identify. I think it's the lighting. Yeah, I am tired. What's up, Gail Baton, Miami? Is that Baton or Baton? Yeah, so we could just get into it. Thanks for hanging out with me for a few. I actually still have the screen up, and I'm watching. Um, I'm still watching the chat, which is still buzzing on the side. I just never left this window, and what I wanted to just talk about briefly was the why. Right? I just have a question of why. Does anybody know why I understand we're going to see the other side of the moon, but why? I don't understand that. That's one. Um, and I just feel like to do a launch on April Fools and to not show video during the launch, you're almost like feeding into the narrative of the conspiracies around the the moon. Okay. I'll read that as baton, baton, like baton. See, I can't read like Baton Rouge, right? Yo, what's up, Lopez? How are you? So yeah, I think I don't know if you guys saw it the same way, but I feel like what's super weird about it is like it's April Fools, and when you watch the chat of the live stream, and in my feelings as well, it's like I wanted to see more. It's 2026. Um, I guess you could be protective and say, yeah, we don't want to show the inside of what's going on, but um they showed simulated images. Like if I wanted to play a video game, I would just go play a video game. And just where we are with the internet, I mean, I'm gonna try to see if I could make this a little bigger. But people are still, I don't even know if the video is still streaming. I could imagine it is. But all I'm seeing is fake, pre recorded, fake. Why would you think this is fake? Like, this is a moment where we just struggle to deliver because everyone lives in their own kind of sector. I guess, is there a reason that we have to go to the moon? When I was watching the stream in the beginning, it it was I don't know if it's intentional, but the lady was it was almost like a prayer, and she was blessing them and telling them, they're doing this for humanity. And last time I checked, I don't know of anyone who signed off on this. So I was a little stuck on that. Um, one in a zillion to ask. Oh, it's batting. Okay, I like batting. Batting. I can read it that way. Don't care about them. Why you're the best singer in the world? People saying bad things. Yeah, I mean, people are always gonna say bad things, but if you're referencing that as to what I'm saying about the I can't say that they're doing good because I actually don't know that what and why they're doing it. I just know that sometimes delivery does matter. Like your appearance matters. Like right now, if you just join the stream and you see me, what's the difference between me wearing this faded hoodie? It's like that brother is broke right there. You see a broke brother, and you can't get away from certain things. Presentation does matter, and with that much money at play, I mean, yeah, it was great. It's almost like they geeked out. Whoever's in running this, they must have understood or be super invested into how I view the initial, moon missions when you see them in a movie and you hear all the language and we're like geeked out by it. But in 2026, this was an opportunity um, to show where we are with technology. It's an opportunity to get people together. What are you doing? Um, I'm on stream right now. I'm streaming, talking to you, Ella. What are you doing? Um, if you want to know what I'm talking about, I'll kind of back up and get you in. I'm not gonna be in here that long. I'm sorry about that, but I yeah, I just feel the need to address it, and I feel like we're now gonna have you're moving to Mexico. Where are you leaving? Where are you leaving from, Lopez? I want to assume that you're leaving the United States, but I also don't want to be naive about that. Yeah, I just think that maybe the cycles of the information, maybe it'll just pass and people won't talk about it until something actually happens again related to it. But I feel like this is content for many, and people are super triggered. Like when I was watching the flat earthers, right away when you did see a picture of the earth, it was a juxtapose, like, so you see one shot from earth looking up at the rocket, and then you see the rocket looking down at earth. And in the chat it's like the flat earthers are just, C is flat, C is flat, C is round, C is flat. And it's like, what are we arguing about? Like, we are little grains of sand to the multiverse. What are we arguing about? Why do we need to argue about this? And maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe I, they don't have to be more forthcoming with their mission. You got it first try. Well, I don't know if that was that hard, Lopez. Seems to be a thing. Uh, I wouldn't leave America under bad terms. I'll tell you that. I would I would leave just because I want to go somewhere because I think it'll improve the quality of my life. Like when I go on, you know how you go into like vacation mode. I've gone into vacation mode and feel like I don't have to come back. And it's not America. It's nothing about America. It's working. It's yeah, a lot of times that's all it is. It's just the things that hang over your head, getting the Sunday blues and, you know, the environment doesn't care whether it's Monday or if it's Friday, but somehow we culturally present all this energy to support what a Monday is versus a Wednesday, hump day today, versus a Friday. And then we keep doing this same repeat loop. Um, and I did get a break from that in COVID. I'll tell you, I had no idea what day of the week it was for like a year. And that was awesome. Evans, what's up? Oh, 970. You got a multi account. I've seen that. You just saw your live. Thank you. Hey, Carolyn. I'm a little early or later tonight. I'm not gonna be on that long. I was just seeing if people caught the moon mission. What was it called? Artemis Artemis 2. And what did you think of it? And hopefully you thought it was cool, and you were able to not watch the chat, which is very inflamed. Let me tell you something. Why I am leaving is because I'm having a hard time over here. I don't have that much money over here. Some stuff, it gets so expensive. Yep, that's a part of it. I don't know where over here is exactly. But yeah, I could. Of course I remember. When you tell me something, I'll remember. At least for now. In Peyton, hi, nice to meet you. Never seen you in the chat. Yeah, you saw it. It was cool. Carolyn, what did you think about a lot of or lack thereof the footage of like inside of the rocket when the rocket was taken off? It didn't quite feel like what's that movie with the Aerosmith song? It didn't it didn't quite feel like that. Yeah, I thought they canceled it for like a year. So I didn't know that. Evans, do you know why they're going? Like what is the real intent? I know we continuously study stuff, but I just feel super removed from whether it's a necessary thing or somebody just had an idea and we just act on that idea. Oh, be glad to meet your grandmother, of course. Abuela, you gotta meet Abuela. Oh, you was here with SFF. Steinman's Family Farm. Cool. Thank you, and Peyton. Thanks for coming over. Oh, Carolyn says they sure didn't show much. Yeah, um that is yeah, I was watching Justin earlier. He was bugging out with the cameras, and then he was dancing. I was like, "Oh, that's super cool." So we got to touch base when I get some time. I think I'm taking a day off of work soon. See you later, Darnell. Stay blessed. Did not even know about it. Yep, and Gail, that's one of the problems for me. We have all of this information, and I'll let you go, but I'll continue the point. We have all of this information in what I would refer to as channels. An old director of mine who I did not like, but I love the lessons that he had. He would talk about why corporate and why industry is designed the way it is, and how to communicate properly, and how many channels of communication that you actually need to be successful. And it's like we have everything we need. We all have the devices. You guys are on the device. We're reachable. We could reach each other. And you discover this like on the day of. I didn't know yesterday. Now there are previous missions, like SpaceX, I was aware of, but this mission I was not aware of. So SFF, yepers, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure they use tax dollars, but I mean, you just gotta let them. You gotta let them do what they do. There are a lot of people that are working really hard. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever understand why they do it. Karen, I'm so glad he rated your page. So glad to have found. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad he did too. It's somewhat of an adjustment. I I was telling Mick the Pick, who's my moderator. I was telling him earlier that I feel like it is an adjustment because I have adults in the room. you you would be surprised, but I was able to carry the room. I get a few people still coming in here asking if I'm gonna play video games, because not that I'm against playing video games. I'm just not a gamer, and when I've done that, thanks Evans. When I've done that, and I try to show the diversity, I try to show the versatility. Like I'm turning compost. Can't really fake that, right? Like I'm working with my chickens. I'm doing, some carpentry like projects. Really hard to fake, so I don't fake it. I finally found the comfort zone with being able to set up a camera. Hey, Dawn, howdy, folks. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think one of the things that I've noticed is that you guys already must have like a kind of a cultural grouping, because it seems to be easy to have a conversation with you guys, and you kind of come, you shifted over here, and you I guess there's familiarity with that, like having a good conversation. Whereas when I get a lot of random stuff going on in the chat, it's like I want to feed off of the chat, but it's not always the case. Because I could go on and talk forever. That's not Blue Daffodil. Oh man, I was watching the end of my because I'm really struggling with the camera. I know I don't want to spend any money, but Blue Daffodil, I watched the end of the stream, and when you wrote that thing about imagine when they could send like smells, through the internet, that kind of had me, man. I was I was sitting thinking about that earlier. Like, wow, we're gonna be there pretty soon. Oh, thank you, Katie. Katie says, I look forward to conversation with you in the chat. Yeah. Oh, you've definitely changed my age average. Absolutely. And it's something I'm just learning. This is more in line with where I thought it would be from the beginning. But there's just things that you don't know or don't see. I don't know who's behind, the screen names yet. So it's really hard. Thanks for saying that, Carolyn. It's really hard because you don't know who's behind the screen name. So like I said, I'll be hanging out, and I appreciate, people come. I have people that will come every day, and then come to find out, they're, a young person, and I would just question, hey, why are you online at 11 p.m.? But not my business. Yeah, if I tell you that to younger kids, they be like compost. You Evans, you tell that to people who are just not into it. Before I got into compost, and even people around me, I love that you said that, because uh, even the second part of what you said, Evans, even people who are around me, they are so distant from understanding the cycles of what's going on with decomposition. They don't under they don't understand it. And I don't actually enjoy passing the information. I have a few friends who, when I first got it started, I would use the word compost, and I would say, yeah, I compost the food. So keywords, right? I compost the food scraps. And in the beginning, I'm just watching channels, and yes, Jeff Lawton, who is super permaculture guy out of Australia. He his term is anything that has lived can live again. So when you're thinking about compost, you're gonna find people who say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do eggs. You shouldn't do meat. You shouldn't do dairy." But they're not really giving you the book knowledge on that. So, Mick the pig, we live, we live. So
Sucker for love, sucker for love, sucker for love,
explain out to
baby.
Mick the pig. Mick the pig's been here from the start. So yeah, when in the beginning, friends would entertain me. Um, yeah, that is a great saying, and it helps, right? So compost. If whoever doesn't know, I don't know. Mick the Pick actually used to turn compost as well. But compost, you want to have a nice balance or ratio, likely 2 to 1 nitrogen to carbon. Once you start talking like that and geeking out, most of your friends, adults, they don't know what you're talking about. So you feel like you're in some secret society. So I just use food scraps and compost interchangeably. I don't really um, have a need to educate. So then the downside of it is, like I get a friend, love them to death, but they will come with only oranges or only pineapples, and it'll just be the most acidic. It'll just be all acidic. They'll dump it into the chicken. This is a true story. This is not one time. This has happened and it still happens. They'll come with compost. They'll have 2 buckets full of pineapples and they'll dump it into the chicken run. And the chickens will look at me and they'll just, what the chickens are saying. What are we supposed to do with that? the, the chickens will be, I don't know what he wants us to do with that, but that's not what we eat. So, CJ, what's up? Evan says fertilizer. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could break it down to just being fertilizer, but the process, is the big deal. Whether you're cold composting, you're just doing a long age, whether you're going more of a fungal dominant compost, bacteria dominant. Like there's so much science in it, and I try to get into it. Oh, I'm trying to read. Is it Karen? I'll just say Karen. I think Karen. You could correct me if it's not. Karen says, "Hi, what's up? How are you?" Oh, you was thinking it wasn't gonna be another stream after the lunar launch. Oh, listen here. Yeah, I'll talk to you later about so you could explain to me why we're even going. I'll just say it again real quick. Thanks for coming in, guys. The energy is kind of waking me up. Starting to feel, starting to feel a little good, but I know it's false. It's like there's somewhat of an adrenaline rush to be on here and have a big light in my face, but at least for the time being, um, CJ says what's up. They just don't get it for real. Yeah, they don't. They're not gonna get it though. Is CJ? Are you saying that nasty compost is nasty? That look you so right. Look, chickens. Yeah, yeah. So that's a true story. So when um we kept you up too long, I think that's a part of it. Oh, be real. Be real. 82. That's my childhood friend. Um, AKA Shadow Black. What's going on, sir? I'm late. You're not just late. I'm late. Yeah, I stayed on last night. I mean, I don't think I have that kind of stamina. I'm not worried about that. I think there's more of a mental hurdle with a lot of things that I'm dealing with than there is the physical. It's a lot of so one the kids are home from school this week, so that's a little rough. But because it's spring break. But then I have spring coming in hot, and I feel behind. So as I'm working, I'm looking at the grass grow, and it's looking at me and saying, "If you don't get that lawnmower fixed, we gonna have a problem." So there's a lot of things that I've been doing, and I could applaud myself. But until I come on YouTube, I don't exactly feel like the affirmation as to what I'm doing is the right thing. So it actually helps me to come on here and to get that. And I actually streamed Mick the Pick. I streamed after the Lunar Larch as well. I went outside and I was just cleaning up for the rest of the night. So okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm sorry, I'm on the West Coast. No, I watch a lot of the West Coast shows. So yeah, I watch a show every Tuesday night that starts at 11 p.m. on YouTube, and it might go until like 11 p.m. Eastern time, and it might go until 2 a.m. Eastern time. So no worries. Spring break is at the end. Yup. Okay. Yeah, yeah. The kids are off until Tuesday, so that's kind of rough. Blue Daffodil and Katie, do you think that um the internet, or so shouldn't say the internet. Sorry for interchanging that, but do you think that just from a social media, YouTube content creation, there aren't enough people who are just coming on and having something to say? Like, are people not sharing anymore, or just not willing to be here? Like, what is it? Like, I don't toot my own horn. I do think that the connection is real, right? But I personally feel like there aren't as many people who come on, and you don't feel some kind of real reason as to why they're on here. Something is a little off. But just because what you guys were saying, that you really like listening. um Be Real says, "Oh boy, I know we ain't talking about the rocket to the moon launch. That I missed that. You didn't miss it, and we could talk about it. I was just showing that the chat. I still have the chat open. When I streamed earlier, this is what was. This is the I was on USA Today, and I left this open, and the chat is still going. And what you're gonna see is, so look, Houston, we have a problem. Blue screen of death. People are saying it's fake. So my conversation, Be Real, was more so about the. I feel like you do a launch on April Fools, and you're not really that good with marketing. Like, man, take out some Facebook, take out some ads, take out some YouTube ads. I want to know that this thing is happening. I want everybody to know. I want everybody to be quiet, and I want this to feel um like when the president takes over TV, not being specific to which one, but when it's the president's time to broadcast some information, and all of the network channels, most of the cable channels, they kind of just go in freeze mode, and that's what's there. I feel like these moments, for generally anyone who's old enough to be on the internet, this is a topic that concerns them, and they could have done a better job of marketing. They could have picked a better date. You don't do um, something that's riddled in conspiracy, whether it's flat Earth theory or whether or not we went to the moon. They could have definitely picked a better date. So that's point number two. Then point number three is the internet is just where we are, where people are flaming in the comments. People, they've embodied what trollism is. Like this, you can't really. Your closest friends might be the biggest troll, and you don't even know it. right? We're just here now. People get they get something back from it because they're doing it, right? There must be some endorphins that they get back from pissing other people off, but it doesn't seem 75-25. It doesn't seem 60-40. It seems 50-50. And I know where I lean, but I just don't like to see that everything that we do in the comments. Like, could you imagine if you guys came into this chat and okay, this is some good. I'm gonna read that. So, could you imagine if you came to the channel like on the live, and for every person that's saying something good about either what we're talking about or what I'm doing, or just the stream, could you imagine that for every good thing that's being said, there's somebody saying something the exact opposite, and then you're gonna feel the need to go, don't say that about him. Darnell's a nice man. And then somebody says, nah, he's trash. And his camera's trash too. Like, that's what it feels like, being just watching these comments. Okay. Evan says, what do you think about the Katy Perry space flight? I know it was a while ago. Yeah, anytime celebrities are involved, I don't believe that we should be solving commercially how to provide any leisure outside the planet until we fix some planetary problems. This is not the movie Avatar. We should not be mining something that's going to save the world when we have an opportunity to save the world. And if we can't save the world, then let's go out fighting with our brothers and sisters across the whole globe and making sure that everybody is at peace in our final moments. I like Come On Elijah because you talk to us. It is like conversation. Absolutely. There's a farm family. Eddie family started out the same way, but they got big. Yeah, it's tough getting big, Katie. I don't know that family. I see, this is not the first time I've seen you guys mention about like the family farm. I may have just gone into a different category of a lot of the agriculture stuff that I watch, because I don't watch too many families. I mean, I did watch Justin Rhodes. I guess that's like family content, but yeah, I don't watch too many families. So I don't think I'm familiar with that one. Usually it's like, whether it's a talking head and they're really leading the channel. Even with Justin Rhodes, like, I don't know if you guys know Justin Rhodes, but it's like it's his channel. And you'll see his wife on it, you'll see his kids on it. The kids have their own channel. Um, but yeah, we need that. We need that. And I've been on the other side, and I usually, I come into the chat with some the same kind of energy, and I seek out people who do kind of what I'm trying to do now. Be Real says, Katie, shout out to you for recognizing what you did about the individual who's on this live stream. He is very well diverse. Oh, that's my hype man. Give my hype man something. That's my hype man. Be Real. Me and Be Real go way back. We grew up one block away from each other. One numeric block away from each other. Now let's talk about the launch. It depends on how you look at it. And there's so much to dive into about this. We won't get off this live stream until Saturday. Yeah, I mean, to each his own, man. Can you Be Real? Can you tell us why we're going? If anything, I think we should know why we're doing it, right? Like, we don't know why. We really don't know why we're in Iran, right? It feels very similar to the first go round, Iraq and Afghanistan. And then on the flip side, you kind of learn those things. Well, this is not necessarily government. This is NASA. And I would love to know why, if people understand why we're doing what we're doing. Or do we just leave it to the smart people who are in the room and they keep making decisions that we're not aware of? And I'm going to say your mama. What are you talking about, Be Real? I watched mostly Family Farms till Justin pointed you out. Okay. Fake, fake. Everybody here, don't be rude to him. Yeah, that's how the people are in the chat. This is what we all feeding into. Yeah, I could say I don't think I've ever typed a negative message. Like when it gets to the point where you have to be negative, I just I just turn it off. I just close it out. I don't need to be there with that person. That's my answer. It can't. It's not everyone's answer. I get that, but I don't have the going back and forth like the flat Earth theory. Oh man, they just like Be Real said. You could be talking about this until Saturday and beyond because this is just this is just what we are. But if you guys didn't catch it, there is that case about the social media addiction, and they did rule against Facebook, Meta. So there are potentially some changes that are going to be happening to these platforms because the word is out, and comments are one of the ways that you're continuing to get people to go down a bad road and just mental health. It's not a good thing the way they're being used, and at this point even a moderator is not that's not enough to be able to stop where things can go. People tend to dump a lot of bad things in the chat. I know NASA, but what does Space Force do? Well, Space Force is a military wing. So Space Force is from, you got land, you got sea. Space Force is the space. So check out if you really want to know, if you're into The Office, Evans, the TV show, Michael Scott or Steve Carell, he was the star of I feel like the show was called Space Force. It was a show a few years ago. I think this is pre-COVID. They may have had 2 seasons, and they essentially trolled what Space Force is, but that's probably would be the best example to understand why we have it, and why we don't hear about it. But it came from Trump's first presidency. Be Real says that's a great question, bro. So let me answer that. So many ways you could look at it. First way is if you want to let what NASA say. NASA said we haven't been to the moon in over a certain amount of. Oh, you doing a part two of your answer? Okay, go ahead. Be Real. Oh, you did watch that, Evans. That's funny. I actually really like that show. Yeah, Be Real. You giving corporate answers. You're saying you remind me of when I'm at work and somebody comes out and they say this. They say something and it means something and nothing at the same time. Tell me, what are we going there for? Daywalk was in the stream earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to see the other side of the moon." Okay, for what? Just you want to know if it's really dark? What do you want to know? I can't read that, Lopez, but I will try. Oh, you're going to explore other places to live. That was the part to me that was concerning. What I was saying is I forgot the title of the lady who was giving out. She was saying some, and then she kind of said like, God bless us, and it felt like watching a movie where this experiment on Earth didn't work, or someone knew it wasn't working, and we had to go further. We had to move on somewhere, and this is like the prequel to that. This is like, somebody knew something. Cat slept on the keyboard. That's funny. I don't have a cat, but I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. I grew up with cats. My cats lived to like 19. I had two cats that lived to 19 each. So why are we looking for another place to live? That was side of the moon. Guy for 30 seconds. Yeah. I mean, there's curiosity there. I'll be real. I can't, I'm just opinionated. I'm not gonna be able to answer with any real context. But I would say this: the only thing that bothers me is the curiosity reminds me of like child's play, like the mind of a child. Like one day we're gonna go do this, and just I don't know why we just don't fix the problems that we currently have. We can't manage drought properly. We can't store enough water for municipalities. Hear this, and I'll veer off for a second. I live in New York State, and for years I would tell my wife that we're in a drought, but I don't hear about it. And I had to realize that, and then like a couple years into it, the New York City mayor, they considered it like a state of emergency. New York City's in a drought. But I knew like years before, right? And I had to realize that the reason why um it was not declared a drought, the reason why the common person was not triggered is because the almost legal definition of what a drought is has nothing to do if the land is dry or not. You know what I gotta play. Ready or not. You understand what I'm saying? The drought, the when the government is telling you that they're in a drought in this state, it has nothing to do if the land is dry or not. When I say the land that I walk about, if that land is dry, that does not mean that we're in a drought. Ready or not. We're in a drought because the levels of the reservoir of the water that we need to give to people, supply people with, is low, and we're at risk of evaporation and that water getting too low to an emergency level. So it's not about maintaining the runoff and making sure that you have ground cover. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the reservoir. So if it rains but all that water washes away, as long as the reservoirs are filled, you technically are not in a drought here. All right, let me catch up in the chat. Thanks for letting me veer off. We'll talk about another diversion to try to stop us from talking about. Yeah, I don't do political stuff. Be real. Wow, my light just. All right, I'll try to fix this. I love having technical difficulties now. It's like, you know what? Do I even need to fix this? It's like I'm on a shoestring budget, like for real. I have this cartoon idea I could pitch to you guys. That's what it reminds. It reminds me of me going through this idea that I have. I'm trying to plug this in with one hand. Hold on. Okay, and I'll catch up on the chat. 1 second. Oof. I worked through it. Okay, catch up. Yeah, Be Real try to get me to go down some politics. I'm not doing that. Nothing about the war. You'll be mad if we live on the moon and can't play ball anymore. So, make the pick. You left room for us to be able to have a dome facility where we can play ball. So, controlled. If you guys see, it always comes back. Um, you guys know what CA is? CA, like if you see it on the Apple, literally an Apple, they'll have a sticker on it and it has, the numbers on it, and they'll say CA. That means controlled atmosphere. So they have the technology um, to pick things like fruits like apples and store them in a controlled atmosphere so they do not ripen for an extended period of time, and they may be in that facility for like a year. So betcha by golly, wow, make the pick. If we were able to go to the moon, we would have a dome with controlled atmosphere and you could play ball. He goes, gonna need a gravity machine. Blue Daffodil says, I watched Land on the Moon, my family live on TV. Yeah, I tried, but my kids weren't super interested. They were for the SpaceX when the thing launched and it landed. I think Evan says I think we first have to unite as a world. That would be great. I think that you can't depend on the government to unite. I just think people got to push the issue first to just be people first. Just my opinion. Then once the government does it, it's you never know. Be Real says, they're gonna have all the machinery to make sure it's all similar to Earth. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Evan says the Fugees. How about this one, Evan? Earth, Moon. So how you doing, Captain Planet Lopez? Katie says you don't need the light. Oh, I was okay, Katie. I had to plug it into the USB. I think one of the things that's, I don't want to say hurting me, because it's been a ride. Like I said, this is the 58th straight day. Many of you have heard me explain that when I did day one was like rebellion. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do something today, and I did it. I streamed. It's like I'm not gonna let all those the numbers that I don't get. Ah, there you go, Lopez. I'm not gonna let the numbers that I don't get stop me. I'm just gonna stream and see what happens. So I streamed, and then the next day I was like, that wasn't so bad. Let me just try it again. And by the time I hit day 5, I was like, you kind of got to do another day, because if you stop, then you've stopped. Like, you don't have the streak. So here we are on day 58. And one of the drawbacks is, if I had planned this for a month, I would have gotten all the technology straight. Now it's hard for me to even entertain a conversation about how to improve it, because every 24 hours, I'm turning back around and being on here. So I'm managing everything going on outside on the land. I'm managing the job, and then I'm coming and manage this, and I'm still posting content. So it's a ride. And once I get through the 100 days, I'm going to take a nice, pause there to be able to invest more into how do I make this better and really define what it is. Mick the Pick says, gotta be able to have fun up there. You can have fun anywhere, man. Please don't stay up too late. I mean, my wife is in the kitchen right now, so I'm not up late. Yeah, we both up late. Grows in a hot house. Oh, I hear the rain outside. I love catching the shuttle going over. Uh sighting. Okay. Apples and Earth. Lopez, I did I trigger you? I hope I didn't. But Yeah, there's so much technological advances supposedly. Really is just let's try to figure out how to continue to feed people and make a buck off of it. Um, you can't. It's really hard to curve these systems because true self sufficiency is not a reality for 99.9% of the people. I'm glad that I jumped off the train because it was driving me in the wrong direction to just have the state of being and thought that I'm gonna be able to solve every problem that I have. I'm gonna have every tree. Like, I'm in New York, we're in the north. Apples are fair game, stone fruit. But it ain't as easy as you think, and you need space and you need understanding. So you are going to engage with what they, the science and technology that they want to deploy. So the best thing that we can do, I don't know if you guys know, but the age farming is like one of the oldest professions there is. It also has worldwide. It has the highest suicide rate. It is one of the most stressful, and I would just conclude being unfulfilling because there are people that are committing suicide that are doing it because it's really hard. It's really hard to do. It's really stressful to do, and there's not a lot of profits in the way that our system works. So we have these problems. We have apples that sit in a controlled atmosphere. Is Evans leaving? Let me see. Got to get up early. Yeah. Okay. All love, man. All love. I'll see you next time. He goes, I love apples. Let's. I see some weirdness going. He goes, I love apples. I don't like the Apple store. So imagine you buy an Apple phone and it drops on the floor. I'm ready. It's broken. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Funny though. Yeah. Catch you on the next one for show. Thanks for calling out.
Ready or not,
Yeah. When you come in, I'm definitely gonna hit that since you knew what it was. We tried to do a stream one night where I was going down. It was more of a music night of stream, and I was going down the historical representation of Ready or Not. That's why I have all of them on the soundboard, and that's the thing. Like you're doing this thing where you're trying to tell 14-year-olds, "Hey, do you remember the Delphonics?" Didn't really hit. The Delphonics. So, but yeah, definitely I like digging into stuff like that. Um but yeah, we how long have we I didn't think I would be able to do 54 minutes cuz I am tired. I say this thing, I don't know how to creatively get it out, but when I say I'm tired, I say I'm tired. I'm TI red. I just keep mixing up the word. But Jackie Brown soundtrack. Wow. You taking it back. Man, you know what would be super cool, Evans? To do a black exploitation. Like I've never really seen anybody. Maybe we could do like a watch party or like some highlights of some of the black exploitation films. Not that Jackie Brown is one of them, but that kind of it feels like it takes me back there. So I could show the age that I think that I am. Um, when is if Dawn, if you're still here, Dawn, you were saying that you didn't see what was that? Blazing Saddles. Did you look it up? Because I was thinking about you earlier about that. That's I tell you that's my movie. I was looking at how do you do without getting copyright strikes. So I might be up to task. sometime in the near future, and I'll spend some time breaking down some fun footage, and there's a lot of context and character. I like looking at where we've come and why aren't we having or appear to be having as much fun as some of these people are having. Why so serious? Why so serious? Oh yeah, but your husband loves that movie. Yeah. No, my mother, I'm pretty sure she saw that one in the theater. I want to say that's a 19 either 76 or 79 film. And that's one that will play on, VHS tape on rerun in my house, or if it ever came on TV. And Lopez, you loving the apples, man. You loving them. How many? What's your favorite type of apple? I've never successfully grown. Like I don't have a big apple tree, but hopefully, I think I made a mistake. He was 6 or 9. I could do math, Katie. I'm really good at math. I'm really good at math. That's funny. What's your favorite kind of apple, Lopez? Cosmic Crisp is a superior apple. It's just like an earthling human, McThePick. Yeah, superior apple. Come on, man. It's all good. Well, I was willing to do the math, Katie. It's all good. Yeah, you had a time though. That means that you were a teenager in the mid '80s. That must have been awesome. Like for me, being a teenager in the '90s, it was awesome. But there was Green Apple, like Granny Smith. Um, in the '90s, it was awesome, but there was so much cultural shifts. My understanding of the '80s, it was more stable than the '90s. It was more stable. That must have been awesome. Man, I remember elementary school having a triple fat goose jacket with some acid wash jeans on and a 24 karat gold Scully. I used to wear the winter hat that said 24 karat gold on it. And then footwear was very different in the late 80s. Really? Oh, sorry to hear that. Green Apple with Tajin and Chumley. Okay. Okay, you sound a little bit. You sound like you're doing it the right way, Lopez. Lopez, where your people's from? Where you don't get a name like Lopez? I don't got Lopez in my family. Where your people's from? Oh no, no, I'm an '80s baby. I was a teenager in the '90s. Yeah, I was just saying like so. I'm early '80s too. So being early '80s, um, yeah, some things like cherries need to freeze to produce fruit, and bananas you can have freeze or they won't produce. So yeah, so you're saying code that's called Dawn. That's called code stratification. Um, Yeah, some things need to freeze. Oh no, sorry. Cold stratification is just to be able to plant and germinate. You're talking about the frost hours that certain fruits require. So yeah, like if you look up a chart, every species of apples they have yeah, I'm 10 years younger. Yep. Apples have different species, they'll have like a certain required amount of frost hours to be successful for the season. And they also can't go through, which is why global or climate change or whatever they're calling it now. I like to call it climate insecurities. Um, it goes back and forth, so the tree's starting to wake up, and then it goes back, and you know, blue, blue daffodil. Oh, it's all good, man. Look what I said. I said everything that has lived will live again. I think I'm gonna be composted when it's all said and done. To be honest with you, it's like two Mexican things that go on it. Okay, okay. Though I grew up near Mexicans, I can't say. Uh, oh, you using his sister's account? I didn't have I have Mexican friends, but I was not too integrated into like understanding the culture from inside the house. I've been more around Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Ecuadorians. It's been a long road. Yeah, that's good that you won't trade it. I remember when I tore my ACL, and when I was, you know, I was in better shape before that. I had played college basketball for 4 years, and I tore it well after, like as an adult. But I was still in a good enough shape that I still had a lot of confidence about me, and there were things about the world that I couldn't see because of that posture. And when I tore my ACL, it allowed for me to sit down and to be more grateful because there was a time where I couldn't walk. And when you're going through something like that, you don't know if you're ever going to be able to do that again or be what you how you see yourself. So I definitely needed that time to sit down, and it did change me as well. So I wouldn't trade it. Yep, yep. Yeah, you're on it, Don. What are you growing? You growing cherry trees? Lopez, I hope you're not saying 2015. That's the year you were born. If I hopefully I ain't missed nothing here. Yeah, I have a nice cherry tree. It's one of those grafted multi-species. Mick the Pig says you're an absolute legend. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about Lopez. Lopez is hanging out with the folks here. Yeah, no. I'm just a people person. I grew up around a lot of people. Um, oh, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm into trees. I think the hardest part. So I have Dawn. I got so much information. It's like when you go to college and you learn all of the theory. You might have a lab or two, but there's nothing like getting out into the profession. So when it comes to trees, I have so much information and knowledge about it, but getting out there, you kind of got to get into it. And then I kind of get blocked from my ideal situation. A lot of it again comes from watching so many people on YouTube. I wish I had a community who was knocking down my door to say, "Hey, could you take cut-ins? Could we trade cut-ins every season of things that you don't want anymore and you're ripping out, and then we could just trade." And I'll grow cherries this year, or you have raspberries here. Here's an extra plant. And I just don't. I haven't found that. Even the people who I know that care about their garden, like around me, they do care about their garden, but they don't get into the science of it, like the stuff you're saying about. So like, okay, let's talk apples. Apples are not true to seed. Make the pick. What does that mean? Apples are not true to seed. I would ask. I would ask. What is his code name here? Let me see his code name. Be real. I would ask Be real 82, but he'll just Google it, and then when he Googles stuff and he comes back, just so you guys know, it'll be the full copy pasted answer. It will not be in his own words. He does not care. He will out himself. It should even say by Google. Answered by Google. Oh, Mick the Pick. That's my man. That's my man. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. They don't understand that. And there's like grapes, for instance. Most of the grapes that you're gonna buy are those aren't planted. Those seeds are worthless. Those are not planted. So every grape you've probably ever eaten has not been planted by seed. It was grafted on. It came from a cut-in of a well-known, a well-known species. Yeah, they get it. They get it here too. I actually have cedar trees, a cedar tree next to an apple tree, and I'm encouraging the rot. Apparently, yeah. No, I hear you, Dawn. You gotta shift to my plan for that is to for what she said. She said most of my fruit trees bloom, and we get the last winter blast, storm and blows off my blooms off, or they freeze. Um, Fungus got your plum. My plum too. Plums and cherries they share the same. They that black fungus, that black rot or something. So actually, I'm either gonna just cut my plum and try to throw it away because it's like the spores get out. And you gotta watch out. But I think my cherry tree is super far from where my plum was. But those are hard to grow. I think that'll take me 10 years to really get an understanding of it. What I was gonna say about the blooms in the winter, because we're in a climate insecure time, I think we have to be more observant as to what does well and favor it while the climate is still insecure. You got 100-year-old grapevines. Wow, wow. And you make Concord jelly. Do you guys interact with mulberries? Cause I have like a gang of wild mulberry trees. Um, and during it's almost that time of year when they bloom. I don't make jelly from them, but what I do is I treat it just like a bowl of cereal. I just go out every morning. I'm sure I'll film a video of it. I go out every morning and I just pick and eat. Pick and eat. Oh, you're surrounded by them. And they just kill your tree. Yeah, yeah. It's the spores that's in the air. Can't really do anything. But that's the thing. Like you live where you live, or you have a plot of land, and you don't get to. You ever see those people who are super organic, but then they're surrounded by um someone who is the opposite of organic, and it's like you're being impacted one way or the other. So you got to just understand. So like I said, my plan is to I do a lot of perennials. My elderberry trees, I kind of figured those out, or bushes. I figured those out. I'm working with a bush cherry and a Nanking cherry variety. So those might give me something this year. Currants. Yes, last year was my first year to actually eat a currant. So my currants are doing pretty good. I actually have to move one because I want to give it more sun. That's so beautiful, Dawn, that you have a friend that does that. Like I said, the problem for me is that it's not that I don't know anyone who does it. They don't, because we're all like working class. They don't get into the science of it. Like they're not growing currants. They're not. They don't get into it like I get into it. So I wish I'm gonna find people. I shouldn't say I wish. I'm gonna find people who are more serious about it, because it would really help me. But yeah, I'm targeting a lot of things that I see doing well. I got pawpaw trees. They don't seem to be affected by, they're slow growing, and they don't seem to be affected by the climate insecurity. Um, Most don't know you can make yeah. Apparently, a crab apple is a thing to have because you could graft anything. It'll pollinate any other apple as well. Oh, you don't have to add pectin. Yeah, we're getting into the thick of it now. I like that. Mayhaw jelly. I don't know that. I was watching I forgot the name of the lady. It's the first time I've watched it, but my wife has told me about her. Um Shout outs to 2015, whatever that is. Used to do your own garden, just too much work. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that is not too much work. I'm not gonna go against you with that point because you clearly have a understanding. I think what I tell people is when you really learn about what it is to garden, you gotta choose the system that works for you. So I don't see how I could stop gardening. I just would shift on how I garden. If I'm just doing herbs that are simple, like when I go outside and I look at my thyme, I have some yarrow. I mean, you might not even call me a gardener at that point. Those things are set it and forget it. Like they don't need much of anything. And I have them growing in different spots. Those at this point, those are my weeds. They grow wherever, and I have multiple types of thyme. Herbs are. I'm really trying to be good at farming herbs. Oh, cool! You make dill pickles and salsa. Yeah, I mean, I remember I made some tomato sauce one year. It was awesome. That was when you was born. Oh, okay, Lopez. Three. Oh yeah, you do the 312s at 60. Yeah, we gotta get you out of that. I don't know your situation. There's a guy that I watch. His name is Lead Farmer 73. One of my favorite YouTubers. He talks about buying your retirement, and he's more. He pushes his conversation to a land based conversation. He's saying if you buy land, that could be your retirement, and that a lot of people kind of wait too late to do it, and they then when by the time it's time, they don't get what they think they're gonna get back. My plan is really to just become very diverse so that I can, pick off, separate from the system if I need to, but that means you're 10 years old. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I wouldn't trade being I in one case, obviously, you if you want to start over and do it all over again, I wouldn't trade, but yeah, I remember Dawn. Yeah, preserving your food, and yeah, I'm not as good with all of that stuff. I just kind of eat, and then I eat in abundance. It's satisfying, it's fulfilling, and I think from a safety standpoint, if things should go south, I at least know how to do something. You know, not not that no one's. That's the difference between homesteading and farmsteading and really just being a gardener is you're still at the hobby level, and if things don't work out, nothing's hanging over your head like, oh, we won't be able to eat because my garden didn't produce. Like, no, the garden is really just to, at this point for me, it's to have, from a security standpoint, maybe just thinking healthier, being more conscious of things and exploring. Still playtime for me. Oh, I love the sound of that. Nice, nice. Being debt free. That's it's the way to be. That is the way to be. I definitely understand that. If I didn't make decisions that I made, I wouldn't even have a house at this point. If I was listening to other people that were around me, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at. So I definitely agree with the debt free, trying to do what you can. Yeah, having this, yeah, you do need to store it. The same YouTuber, there's a funny thing that I try to remind him about it. He don't even remember he said it, but I will never steal anybody's thing. He said when you go out and you get a property, the further, the bigger the property, the further you're away from a hospital, right? The bigger the property, the further you're away from your tools getting fixed. So you have to buy tools to fix your tools. The investment is way bigger than what you think. You're hungry for an apple. Oh yeah, definitely admire them, Katie. Oh, you worked in group homes, cool. Psychiatric hospitals, that's tough. Yeah, appreciate it. Absolutely, appreciate what you do, Dawn. A supervisor. Yeah, well, you earned it. You earned it, and it can be getting easier. I mean, if we're talking about people not being better. Mick the Pig says, man, when I worked on the farm, the John Deere broke down. We couldn't fix it without sending it for repairs. Yeah, that's what they say. The newer equipment, it's not as modular, so it's not as fixable on the fly. But that's one of my goals. When I mess up some of the tools that I have, even hand tools like axes, I actually put them aside, and like I'll still use them. I'll use a dull axe. I'm not really doing anything. And for me, as I'm still learning to do certain things, I don't want them to be super sharp anyway, because That ain't gonna work out for me. Sometimes when when I'm not doing what I need to do. But yeah, I think I want to get to the point where I'm able to sharpen all my tools and fix my tools. I kind of MacGyver stuff now. He McThePick says the lady on the phone wouldn't even tell us what we had to look for. Yep, yep. And that used to be what YouTube was for. But I don't know if we could help each other out these days. It's not really a weird policy. I mean that comes with it, right? Depending on what your agreement is. Oh, that's nice, Dawn. I congratulate people when the decision to move on from a job, whether it was their decision. I like to say that when you quit, you fired your company. Like it gives you a sense of empowerment. But just to whatever people are going through to say it's my time to move on. That's a awesome space to be in, to get your freedom back, so to speak, because it really is a mental hurdle to have to go somewhere every day, and we all put up with different things. Yeah, Dawn, I live very similar to that, and like I said, I've been married going on 14 years now. Be Real is back. My man Be Real, he trying to give me some more energy. That's why I love this platform of Darnell just talking. You got that from Google, but you get some real good tips on how to make things work. You know what? I'm more of a messenger. Be Real. I have been watching and studying. You got your green apple, Lopez. That's what's up. I have been watching and studying. A lot of it is just for personal reasons. I'm an information hog. I love, love, love to just learn and understand things. Um, and I get inspired. And, I'm pretty decent with vetting information. So, whatever I'm telling you, I feel pretty confident in. So that's the reason why I do have a lot to share and to talk about and to build. B Rose says I'm gonna start my garden here soon. I never did one. Well, don't feel any pressure. I'm working with my sister who she did a little something. I'm read the second part. I know I already have a feeling about that. This would be my first one, and I'm gonna need a lot of guidance and help. So Darnell just talking is a channel for me. Go. I don't know what kind of 30-second commercial scripts you working on. Be Real. This is what I would suggest, and this would help me out. Why don't you make a video or make some audio and send it to me of your questions so I could be very specific and direct, and I'll answer in a video, and we'll put that together. We'll make some content together, and we'll share it on both of our channels. Wow, I've never heard that one. Childhood Sweethearts. Y'all need a movie, Dawn. Lopez says he loves eating broccoli. You like spinach too, Lopez? You know who Popeye the Sailor Man is? Because my kids didn't know, and I almost cried that day. I almost cried, and instead of getting upset, I went and I found the movie with Robin Williams, and we watched Popeye, and I was actually underwhelmed. The music was awesome, but the movie, the build up, it took a while for the movie to build up. The same doctor slapped your booties. Wow, if that's legit, that's crazy. Katie, I don't absolutely. I don't. At this point, we don't have a subject. We riding out. We gonna see how where the energy takes us. Um, yeah, you got married at 15. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's you got lucky. I used to love broccoli. I used to call them little trees. That's what my mom's told me. I used to love broccoli when I was a kid. I mean, that's the thing. You send kids to school and they come home telling you all this stuff that's good for them and good for you, but they don't eat the stuff. Oh, he showed up and mom told him he was gone. Look at this guy. He is so modest. I don't know if I'm modest. I'm humble. He's a good guy. You know that your comment there reads like the Everest commercial. At least the way I'm reading into it. Look at you. You ain't doing nothing. You sitting on the couch. Why don't you come to college? He's having sent everybody to say it was me. Darnell just talking. Darnell just talking. We love you. Come on, man. Big fan of Darnell. Come on, you guys got a back chat and y'all saying all this good stuff. This it's like a background chat. I'm not insecure. I never and I guess this is for you, Dawn and Katie, and Lopez. I don't I don't see myself as a on camera person. Um, I think it takes a certain level of ego to be a talent. I like being behind the scenes. I like people's I like helping the creative process, and I love spending my time on that. So whenever I sound like, I'm not taking a compliment. I'm okay with the compliment. I don't know. Big fan of Darnell, whoever that is. My father, he doesn't call me Darnell. He goes Darnell. The freaking man was a part of naming me, and he doesn't even say my name the right way. All your dads and moms grew up with each other. Brussels sprouts. Oh, I got a nice picture. When you send me that video, be real. Of you asking these questions, I'm going to put the thumbnail as I have a video with me holding like a Brussels sprout that's like the size of my upper torso. You're trying to study to find where to study and learn about AI. I'm looking to go to DeVry for AI, but please don't go to school for that. Um, yeah, and if you go, I don't want to hate on DeVry, but any of those technical schools, they're good for expediting the process and getting you into a specific career for a price. Um, Katie, I'm telling you, I would just go to chat.openai.com. That's all I would do. I would do it for you right now. I would literally do this. I would come here. I don't even think you have to sign in. And I would say, I am trying to learn about AI. Let me see exactly what you're talking about. AI and medical records. Make sure you can see this. EHR, EMR. This is exactly what I would do, Katie. And feel free, you could ask. I'll look into it. If you have any data or understanding that you get from it, and you want to touch base on that particular understanding, I'm interested. Yeah, I would be interested to hear that conversation. But you can't go wrong. I'll just tell you the way AI was taught to me from one of my good friends. I think I said this yesterday. Was he told me AI is like having, like how when you talk to your coworkers or you talk to, if you've ever employed somebody and you ask them questions, but they don't have the answer or they don't want to have the conversation with you. AI is like having the perfect employee because though it's not always right, it's trying to be honest and give you and provide you information based on a topic. And when you deal with people at work, people don't always have answers. So this is like an assistant. This can support your thinking or the gap in your thinking. If you don't understand something, this is a place where you don't have to be shy to say I don't get this. Like break this down to me, you know, in a way that I'm gonna understand. And on the flip side, the more it starts to learn your interest, what you're about, it could improve. That's what makes it super powerful. And the more you grow, it'll grow with you. And this is not to endorse it. This is just saying that a lot of times we don't have. I struggle with having a way to field my thoughts. I was talking to Mick the Pick earlier about needing to voice something about the fact that a lot of SFF fam came over, and I knew what the stream felt like prior to that, and I like that Blue Daffodil AI does well. It might be something on that because my coworker says that he types in something about a competing AI and they tend to change their answers. So there's some competition. But yeah, I needed to voice something, and it was about feeling like I'm moving into phase two of being a streamer. I'm not reading this. This is just going based off of feeling that I now have people that I'm more comfortable with because they more so reflect. I always said that I'm here to find my community. So if you reflect my community, so it's gonna be a lot easier to talk to people. Um, Dawn, ooh, says I can make some good turnip greens. Not even bitter. I always get that from Cracker Barrel. I get the turnip green as a fixin'. I like growing them for sure. I do grow turnips, but everyone in the house doesn't always eat them. That means it was meant to be. Congratulations to you and your family. Who are you speaking to with that? Be real. Sorry to catch up late. No pepper sauce needed either. Yeah. Saw your name. Duane. Am I saying that right? Duane, not Dawn. Are you teasing? Are you teasing me when I said that my father says Donnell and not Darnell? No, it's totally fine, Katie. There's the stream is called Open Studio. It generally, other than some topic that I bring to the table, which today was more about the NASA topic. Yeah, I grew purple top as well. Um, it was about the NASA topic, so Other than that, it's really just filled in what's going on. I came on super tired. I think Katie, you jumped in here first. You said, "Yeah, you look tired." It's like, "Yeah, I'm super tired." But once you get it going, it's like, okay, I'll pay for it later. It's not you guys that's making me tired. It's parenting. I've been working on this concept called PS. I don't know if I should say it. Parenting sucks. So whenever, and it's not to be, it's not to deter anyone. It's just like the moment of being in it. I'll look over at my wife and I'll just say PS. So we don't have to decode anything. It's just parenting sucks because you're giving so much of yourself. Mm, mm. Speaking of which, I gotta grow some jalapenos this year. I hope you guys will be able to see some of the content of this garden design that I'm doing because I've been struggling a little bit. I'm not the best when it comes to design, but I'm trying to not be stubborn and just push through. So I'm gonna have like a perennial row, then an annual row, then a perennial row, then an annual row. Oh, it's hard to read. Like the way you say it, Duan. It looks like a Joan. If you if you said it, yeah, there's no manual to it. If you said it out loud, I would know it like right away. And I know a lot of people who spell it Dawn, and that's how they say it. So that's what's tripping me up. I'm sorry about that. We'll get there. Maybe I'll go to Chat GPT and tell me how to say this in different ways. I did that a couple weeks ago. I had a big group from India come in the chat, and they were all excited because I was willing to like vibe with them. I was playing some music, and then they told me to check out this movie, which is still on my list. I went to go check the movie out, and I didn't realize the movie was 3 hours and 30 minutes. And they didn't tell me this. So I go there and I'm like, I'm excited because I've seen the people come multiple days. So I'm going to get into this movie. I actually like, I'm like, I have a snobby, usually, I'm more of a critic when it comes to movies. I'm more like, I pick at the things that I see. So I really wanted to watch it, but it was like 3.5 hours. So I remember that I could not say the word because it wasn't in English, and I would I pulled up a video on YouTube that just said the spelling of it, and I was practicing it for like 20 minutes and still can't say it. So bittersweet. You never had kids. You didn't want them. Just never got pregnant and time slipped. But it's okay. I only worry about me and my husband. Hey, well, as long as you got each other, because marriage is not easy. Oh, the Southern way. Okay. Drawing out Dawn. Dawn. No, it's not Joanne. I can't do it. My peoples from the South are going to disown me. Oh, man. Watch, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Once I get it stuck, it's stuck. And this is coming from a guy who I've heard my name said wrong pretty much every year, every job. They the on. You make it makes me feel like I'm really struggling because we read like through memory, like muscle memory. And when you're giving me new ways to look at it, I'm seeing like the sound, and now I feel like I'm talking to my son, and I'm like, you can spell it. 22 years? Be real, you've been married for 22 years? Or you've been in a relationship for 22 years? 22 years? You should laugh at us that have kids. You absolutely should. And for those people who um the on I can't do it. So those people who I remember I was one of them. It's like, how many kids you gonna have? Oh, there you go. Dornell. Yeah. Well, you get a lot of people they when they see it, they think Donnell, Donnell, like Donnell Jones. So my father, that's how my father says it. He says Donnell, Donnell, and but I don't even get Dornell. I get Daryl. Um, bro, you were married in '04. I'm so southern. You would slap your granny. Uh oh, make you want to slap your mama. That's funny. Be real. You really were married. This is the 22nd year that you've been married. Wow. Congrats to you, man. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to you, man. Yeah, it's not easy, and there's so many chapters to it, and you just gotta. You gotta stay invested and figure it out. There's nothing worse than when people try to give you advice, so I won't. It's nothing worse. See, what you gotta do is, what the advice they give people. You ever hear just make sure you don't go to sleep mad. Don't go to sleep mad. Like if you don't get out of here. I was married on the second marriage in '05, so yeah, under you. Okay, well, say the the and then say on. The on. It don't feel right. It don't feel right. The on. The on. Is it separate or is it like this is freaky. Be real. Are you trying to say this as well? You just got back from eating spaghetti. Be real says you are definitely right about that. There are many chapters to marriage, and right now, where I'm at on our spiritual journey, I put a lot of perspective. Yeah, more things. My first was 11. My second was 20. 15 years. 4 engaged. Four. Oh, let me read that again. First was 11. My second was 20. Okay, 15 years. 4 engaged. Oh, 4 engaged. Uh, Katie, sorry, Lopez. Katie said, "Was it good?" I make a banging, at least for a general American. I make a pretty good spaghetti. My children love the love that I put into my spaghetti. Dawn agrees. We go through so many phases. Dawn, the thing is, you have to accept it. That's what I was getting at with when I made the AI comment. Like, I feel like I'm in phase two. We do go through phases, whether it's marriage, life, and you just gotta be honest about what you're in and what you can do. There's this thing that I've been thinking about recently, like with my whole property. Is there something here that is not possible to do? Like, I'm working on some pretty hard projects. We have a pool to finish, to fix and finish. It's been here for some time in that state with the everything else. COVID kind of rocked our world. And the question is this even achievable? Because if it's not, let me know now. And I could take my walking papers and figure out something else that makes sense for me, you know? Oh, it is together. Dwayne, Do, Dawn, Dawn, Dawn. Oh man, you're gonna make me drop out of school all over again. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, my name is more. It's less said as the derivative of Darnell. It's definitely more said like just in negligence as Daryl. I see a lot of Daryl, and right away I get. I don't know. I don't think people respect people enough to get there. To me, knowing someone's name, there's definitely a level of respect that's involved in that. There's this concept that I got from the Boys and Girls Club of America. It's called Buick. Buick is the acronym BUIC, belonging, usefulness, influence, and competence. And it's how they train their staff to work with children. So giving someone a sense of belonging, the easiest thing that you can do is know their name. Very low hanging fruit, right? When kids come and they might be shy, they may be new to this activity or this club. Um, they come back and you know their name and you call them by name. So there's nothing worse than someone wanting to include you with something and they botch your name. Come on, Daryl. See, we have Daryl here. Daryl's one of the smart people over. Daryl. Where they do that at? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I triggered somebody. Be Real says, so when it comes to spaghetti, do you do meatballs or meat sauce? We had some garlic bread, some garlic and some Parmesan. You were just hungry, Be Real. My mouth is watering right now reading your comment. I'm definitely a meat sauce person. I love I don't make it how our parents when they were getting in their lazy years and they just used to whip that thing together. Have a nice separate so you could see that I was able to make the elegant meat sauce, and I made the pasta, to a really rich pasta. You know how this is my sister's account. Well, you're both Lopez, right? Do you say her name Yaylin? Grew up with the pool. What is the shape? My sister. It's a Grecian pool. It's a Grecian pool. It's a vinyl. Be real says yes, yes. Gianni. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Um, yeah, and be real. Thanks for making a comeback, sir. It's good to see you. Good to see you. We got a long. I don't know why you don't come in as Shadow Black anymore, because I like shouting out your channel. And any of you guys, if you guys make content, I would love to shout out your uh oh, I didn't know Dawn. Do, Dawn, Dawn, Dawn. You have a new subscriber. I didn't know that, but yeah, if you have a channel and you're trying to grow, I mean, some of us have channels we don't really care to grow. Um, Katie, you have a new subscriber. Let's see. Be real. I don't know if be real. You have a new subscriber. Oh, you had it in ground plaster. Yeah, no, I was just it's a Grecian, it's in ground, and it's a vinyl, so it has a 42-inch steel walls, and then the bottom, the floor bottom needs to be replaced, and then padding, vinyl, and then water and plumbing. So Katie says you will get it. Yeah, but I get if you're talking about the pool, the oh, I think she's talking about the name. But yeah, from the this is act like you're talking about the pool. Um, it's I think it's okay to accept if you're not if you can't, if you're not going to be able to do something, or if it doesn't meet your standard. I think coming into this project years ago, um, and I didn't expect to have a third child in the middle of it. I didn't expect COVID to happen. I didn't work for 3 years, so there was some financial pressure while I was raising these kids during COVID. So that there's a lot that I'm not regretful about how we. That's what my wife wants to do. She really wants to do saltwater. Um, I don't regret how we got here. There's a lot of pressure that I used to feel from people when they would come over, because they think you have the magic, the easy button, and you just press it and everything just works. But that's not it. I get to live with this. Today I cut on the AC for the first time, just to get a jump on the season to make sure we don't have any issues, because I did have to change out something. I forgot what that thing is called, but I had to change something out at the end of the season when it was super hot. And it's like you get backed up. Those something changes and you get backed up, and then you're not able to really, it feels like you're not getting ahead. Shadow Black says, or Be Real says, only because where the Shadow Black is, this is my primary, and I'm always, the device is always dead. So this is Be Real 82 is your primary. Okay. Lopez says, I'm glad I'm staying with all you guys. You guys are like family. Yeah, it's internet family for real. It's good to have like-minded people. That's my reason for being here. So share that wealth. Yeah, no, I understood Katie. At some point, it was like, oh, she's talking about how you say the name. she she ain't talking about no pool. Oh, you have issues with storms and a hangout at the window and video. It's funny. I'll check it out. Um, like it's something that we all should do. What's 2020, Lopez? It's something that we should all try. Maybe it works for us. Maybe it doesn't. My one of my goals is to get to the point where I'm making some sort of a cinematic, even if it's not serious, something that has a cinematic look, and putting it on one of these platforms, and my humor speaking through it, or just the angle of the way that I think is speaking through it. So, you know, this is a modern way to do it. I'm way overdue, and yeah, let's make it happen. Like, look at this. Got this thing on my desk. I gotta freaking put up this to try to catch some bees. I need to put a door on my swarm trap. You don't have to stop talking to send my things. You can read it after you're done talking. Oh, you were doing Bible studies with a few friends. You just don't have time. So, that was for me. That was one of my excuses, Katie. Just a broader excuse that I was making was, if I had to choose whether to do video or get my work done, I'm clearly gonna do my work. And it wasn't until like week two or three of me streaming, that I was talking to ChatGPT, and I was trying to figure out how could I do this, and I was just being super honest. I'm like, look, this is taking a long time, like all the effort. So I used to go out there and, you're filming for shorts, making different forms of content. You're filming it, then you gotta edit it, and Chat GPT made me understand. I would say it's the only person, because when I tell people, they don't actually unless you do it, they don't really understand it. Um, it was saying that, well, you don't actually get that much out of posting something long, especially in the beginning, right? You can try to put something out there, but your issue is that you're putting too much production value into what you're editing. The edit's taking too long, and you're not getting any yield back. So to take the pressure off of yourself, do something that's just like easy within flow. So a lot of the shorts that I put up now, as I'm doing and living my life, I'll just take a minute and I'll try to record a message that I think is either in that moment or something that could potentially turn into content. The cool thing about recording is that you don't have to post it, right? You're not beheld to a posting everything that you record in your camera. You just try it, you record it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's one thing that I do now. And I force the issue on the little things. And I've noticed I've been backlogging a lot of content. One, because I don't have the time to do a lot of content, but you do have to be consistent if you have the goal. Like, my goal, I have goals in this, and in order to reach the goals, I have to be disciplined enough to really feed this system. She says, but I have time to watch and talk to you all. Yeah, I think it's probably just the ease of the same thing I was saying. It's the ease of it. Like since I've been watching Justin's channel, I actually I see he does like a lot of the feeds, which takes the pressure off of you having to be on camera all the time. So I was thinking through that, like, what would it take for me to get a feed, and then I could kind of do similar thing and still come on here, and do my thing, but just post. What I in your situation, if you do Bible studies, you could have like a 30-second wrap up of how what did you discuss and how it made you feel. You don't even have to be on camera, and just post it. It's like you talking to family. That's cool, man. That's cool. We all need that. The only thing that I struggle with is it gets like I don't want to get distant from my own like family. I feel like I've seen people that they grow in an identity, and then only people on here know them, or you know a different person, almost like a virtual person. But yeah, man, I hope you're using this time, Lopez, to just feel welcome, feel warm, and have all positive energy. I'd rather you. It doesn't have to be me as a talking head, but I much rather you be satisfied and pleasing, rather than questioning things about yourself or your life, or building a low self-esteem, and so I think for that you're in good company. Yeah, I know it's almost one. I know. Yeah, I was gonna get out of here soon anyway, Katie. I don't know. Let me just tell the truth for a second. My wife used to call me the mayor, because whenever I say I'm leaving, that means absolutely nothing. I could be there for another hour talking my point. But this is some of probably the funnest time I've had today. I've had a pretty stressful day, so for my family will literally complain about something else different, and sometimes I'm gonna need to go a long time. Feel like you're floating? Well, find your yeah. I mean, in general, you just gotta find your peace, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I noticed that the content creators who say that, Katie, that is a. Let's just talk about it, and then we could get out of here. Um, that is a trick. Um, we don't have to be on here that long. I'm gonna read it how you said it. Uh, this was gonna be a short live. That's a trick. I don't do it intentionally as a trick, but I've been watching creators for years. This one guy, his name is Lennon Honor. He regretfully, I don't think I've ever said his name, but he does amazing content, and most of the time it's on one topic. It's about Umar Johnson, and he's the lead talking head of trying to supposedly hold Umar Johnson accountable. If you guys are familiar with that, I don't really need to get into that, but I've seen him say um, he's just going to be on here for a few minutes, and 3 hours later, he's still on there talking. Like right now it's 2:04, and I remember at the 52-minute mark, I looked at the time and was like, "Oh, I probably just go an hour," and now it's like 2 hours and 5 minutes now. So, but that's a trick. There's another trick when people be like, put the one in the chat. I've never thought much of it, but I think there has to be something that is showing engagement, is showing chat interaction. So when I see people say that, I'm like, Aha. Aha. Uh, I can pick up on darkness real quick, especially if I can look into your eyes. Yep, I see through people too. I see through people. Is that what that is? Be real. I see dead people. Yeah. Why? We don't have to be on here any longer. I appreciate you guys. This was actually a pretty fun live. Um, I hope you enjoyed April Fools. Man, I should have showed you guys my youngest son. He did April Fools on everyone. He said we were having brownies for I don't know, it wasn't dinner, but he was like, "Okay, everybody, we're going to have a brown E. A brown E, right?" Oh man, be real. That's not true, but I hope you didn't eat the cake anime. Um so my son goes, brown E, brown E. So then he tells me, he said, "Daddy, we need something that's brown and we need to make it into an E. So it's a brown E." It's like, that's pretty good. So he told everybody we were having a brown E, and then he just showed them, "See, it's a brown E." It's like, oh, you kids. Good night, Katie. Yeah, thank you, everybody. It's an awesome live stream. You guys make this so easy, so easy. Do, I don't even want to say the name. Dawn. I will be practicing this name. That is a promise. I walked out last night when you said it was a full moon, and it was so cloudy out there. I saw nothing. Um, Everybody, good night, good night, good night. I'm gonna get some sleep. I don't have to put kids on the bus, so maybe I could sleep in just a little bit later. But hopefully, I have a more positive attitude today. At work. I will catch everyone on the next one. I really appreciate it. I will see you.
Sucker for love, sucker for love, sucker for love, baby.
You guys have a good night. Deshaun, what kind of sounds like this song? I don't know what you talking about, Lopez, but I'll holler at you with them apples. Have a good one. Good night. I usually play one. Okay, we'll just play Thaw Season and get out of here. Next tomorrow I'm gonna try to get on at 9:15. 9:15 Eastern time.
It's Thaw Season, Night Edition. Let's go get some eggs. Ride with me.
Oh shit. Oh goddamn. I'm in the snow. Hold on. Ooh. I can't see. Oh. It better be worth it. All these goddamn. It's kind of dark, but it's not really dark. Because I guess the reflection of the snow. But it's dark enough that I shouldn't be out here like this.
But it is Thaw Season. Let's get these eggs. It's Thaw Season, and we got eggs. Check me out in the night of the stream.
It ain't my fault you're not subscribed. Subscribe.